Hello and welcome back to another behind the scenes cake life vlog. It's actually nearly the end of Wednesday. I only have about half an hour before I leave, but there's only so many times you can watch me make ganache in a montage before it gets very repetitive. So that's all I've done today is make my ganache, started filling and ganaching the cakes. Now usually I would have done that this morning, but I was at home this morning baking Sunday's cake. So I have two cakes this week, one for Saturday and one for Sunday. So I baked Saturday's cake on Tuesday and Sunday's cake this morning. So I have one wedding cake almost ganached, and tomorrow I will be filling and ganaching the other one. But I just wanted to show you my incredibly messy worktop where I've just finished ganaching. Ganaching is easily the messiest part of cake decorating, but I have a couple of these and I absolutely love them to the point like I ordered more because I just love them. It's a simple metal scraper. Most people will use these for like smoothing buttercream and things on cakes, and I know people use them as dough scrapers, so when they make dough they can chop it up into little pieces with it. What do I use it for? Scraping chocolate off my worktop, scraping up ganache, and it's bloody brilliant. I can just scrape all this excess and then just follow it with a nice hot cloth and it picks up all the chocolate. Highly recommend, super cheap. I will link below on Amazon. But not only does it pick up ganache like that, but over here on my mat where I have cake crumbs. Now this is a mixture of cake crumbs and sugar syrup. And if you use sugar syrup, you will know how blooming sticky this dries. And I can actually pick up all the syrup and the crumbs. Can you see the liquid? That's the syrup there. Look at that. Look at it. Blooming love these things. It is the next day in the afternoon. Nothing exciting. We just went for a walk last night, had tea, I had a shower, came in this morning, covered my 3-tier wedding cake and filled and ganached the 2 single-tier wedding cakes. So these are ready to be covered. This is an offcut, which I have obviously been eating. I've nearly eaten the full thing. And these are my 3 tiers. So I've got my bottom tier in white. This is going to be covered in Ruffles. This is the next tier up in pink and another white top one. When you have Ruffles on a tier, you are adding quite a bit of depth, or rather width, to your cake. So by the time I've got a ruffle on here, it's going to stick out quite far, which makes the cake look a lot wider than it actually is. So your usual sizes would be a 5, 7 inch, 9 inch. But by the time I've put ruffles on this, it's going to look more like a 10 inch. So then it's going to look like a 5, 7, 10. And it's going to look very out of place, and this bottom tier is going to dominate and look a bit too big. So what you do when you do ruffles, I have a 5, 7, 8. So when I put my ruffles on this 8, it's going to look like a 9, and then it should match perfectly. So I am going to stack these now, turn them into my 3 tier, cover my board, and then start the ruffles. We're one cake down and one cake to go. It is now almost 8 p.m. I went home for tea after I'd finished the bodybuilder, or partly done the bodybuilder, and then came back and finished, put the ribbon on. I had to make an extra couple of roses because I had miscalculated how many I needed for the tops. It's been a while since I've made some. And here is the little bodybuilder as a surprise for the groom on the back, so the groom has no idea that he's sat around the back. I have filmed him as a tutorial, so that's why you haven't seen much in this vlog of me making him, so hopefully he will be up on my channel very soon. But I'm not going to take any pictures of this just yet. I'm going to leave it until tomorrow when the lighting's a bit better. Box it and then deliver it, and then I've got my other wedding cake to start. Happy Saturday. We delivered our wedding cake roughly an hour and a quarter. But they couldn't find the cake stand when I got there. So the table was there, it just went into a storage room, and they had to go and get a backup stand, which was a little bit taller. Yeah, cake stands nowadays, they have to be pretty robust because wedding cakes have just got heavier and bigger with all the ganache and stuff that goes on them. So the stand wasn't the best, it's a little bit wobbly, but they were having a change around of rooms, which means that the room that they're getting married in, the ceremony, will then have the cake in it later on. So the cake was just like in a little side room. So I'm hoping it will be nice and safe in there till they're ready for it. But I'm now back in the studio because I have tomorrow's wedding cake to complete. This is how it's currently looking. I've literally just given it another coat on the top. What happens with chocolate, it does retract a little bit. It's like when you've made chocolate and it goes in the molds. If you've made chocolate correctly, it should pop straight out of the molds. Like you tip it up and they all fall out because the chocolate is contracted away from the molds a little bit. And what happened here is you get a little dip. I had two little tiny dips where the chocolate and the cake had contracted or retracted down a little bit. So I've just filled the tops back in and I'm waiting for those to dry, and then I can cover them. It is Eurovision though tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be finished on time. We usually like to have a little bit of a Eurovision buffet and watch it on the projector, but I just don't know when I'm going to be finished with this one. I've got the whole thing to do and some matching chocolate bars, so I am a bit behind. I haven't done 2 cakes in a week for quite a while. As you know, I only usually do 1 now, but my battery's nearly dead, so what I might do is go live in the Facebook group, go live and chat to the Brigadiers for a little bit while I put this on charge, and then grab some footage of me making it. Quick update, it is almost 3 p.m. in the afternoon and I have my moon topper made. This is a gold version of the silvery version I've already made as a tutorial. If you want the tutorial for this one, it is a Brigadier exclusive and it's posted in the Facebook group. You can get access to the videos from £3.50 a month where you can view. That cake over there with a silver moon on the top and the navy and the wavy things has lights in it as well. But this is a gold version, and we have a little star also in a gold version with a number 8 in the middle, because these 2 cakes need to complement each other, but one is a wedding cake and one is a birthday cake, but they're going to be displayed together. So they need to kind of gel with a celestial theme, but this one also needs to have stitch on it. So we just need to make it work. So that's why I've hidden, it's not quite hidden, but it's blended in. The 8 is blended in with the background. So from far away, it looks like a star and a moon. And then as you get closer, you'll be able to see her age on it and her name on the board and a little stitch figure. So it's not too overpowering of a birthday cake. But that's where I'm up to. I am now going to start texturing these 2, covering the board, and see how far I get. Another little update, it is now 5:39. I have a lot of the toppers on, the stars on, the texture on, the bow on. This is kind of how they're going to be laid out. One's higher than the other, but it makes a nice little set together. I've just got to put a dog figure around the back of this one as a surprise. Wait for Stitch's ear to dry, and then I can start work on the chocolate bars. It's now 7:30 p.m. It's half an hour to Eurovision, and I've just put the chocolate bars in the fridge. So I might be a little bit late, but I won't miss the whole thing. I've got all my allergen stickers printed out for the back of the chocolate bars. And you might notice I have a change of clothing. I was wearing a jumper earlier on, but it got very warm. I was needing all the sugar paste, so I had Adam bring me his pajama t-shirt down. So I'm wearing Adam's pajamas in the studio. The studio is a mess. But I'm almost done. Just chocolate bars to go to package up, and then I'm going to box this and photograph it in the morning, I think. These are the mini chocolate bars to match the cake. It's the same blue that it's covered in. It's got a little pink bow to match the pink bow on the front, and it's also got the stars and the little white sprinkles. So they fully match. These are all for the kids on the tables, and then there was one spare because I have a minimum order value of 10 at the moment, but I might increase that. And then you can have ones with dates on instead, so it's either like the wedding date or the initials or individual names, or you can just have like a sprinkle mix instead. All different prices. So I'm just going to package these up in a little bag, pop these in the box, and then take them to Holmes Mill. I'm not sure if I'll get to set up. There's a couple of times I've been to Holmes Mill and it's the same as it was yesterday, which is a room change around. So I'm hoping I get to set up because I'd like some pictures of these on the table, because I've not done many favours just yet with names on, so it'll be nice to get some pictures of that. Oh my gosh, what a week. We are now on Friday the following week. I should have finished this vlog at the weekend. So we will start from there. We delivered the cake. It was another change around of rooms, so I did have to leave it behind the bar, but I got some footage of the venue itself. I've been before. It's lovely. It's very rustic. It can be decorated in all different ways. I don't know if I said, but we managed to watch Eurovision. We did watch it on like a catch-up. We were about an hour or something behind. We made turkey burgers in our air fryer. Our air fryer is getting some heavy use. We've used it today for dinner. We used it last night for tea. So if you want to go back to my previous vlog and watch us buying the air fryer, which one we got, things like that, that will be there. Then, what stupid thing did I do? I went into the Brigade and told them I had like a week off. I don't have any orders this week. I had a week off to get my challenge piece done because the challenge piece is due on the 20th, which as I'm filming this is tomorrow. I've had a whole week to get it done. Have I got it done? No. I'm gonna have to stop saying that I've got extra time because the universe will just go, oh really? And throw things at you. So Abby had a little operation on her toe that she's been waiting for. She has a very sore ingrown toenail. It's presented itself while we was in Florida, whilst we were doing a lot of walking in hot weather, in hot trainers and shoes. And we've been waiting this long to actually go and have it done. So she went and had that done. On the same day, Kai set off to go and watch Beyonce in Cardiff. And on the same day, all the power in our house cut out at roughly about some daft o'clock in the morning. So his phone hadn't charged up and it had all his tickets on it. So he's having a little flap. My phone hadn't fully charged either. I'm trying to find an electrician. So the first thing you do when your electric trips, luckily the lights were on, it was just the sockets that had gone on our fuse board. You could see the socket switch was down. So the first thing to do is check all your toaster, kettle, things like that are usually the #1 culprit. By this point, I had unplugged every single plug in the house and it still wasn't working. So I had to ring for an electrician. Luckily, bless him, he was out with his sister and he called on the way back. He shouldn't have been working, but he called on the way back, and then it was fault finding, trying to figure out what was wrong in the house. It could have been absolutely anything, because he did all the basic things first and it wasn't any of those. Of course it wasn't. So we spent the rest of the morning and afternoon removing every socket in the house, unplugging all the sockets, looking at all the wiring. So I was inside cupboards, he was moving appliances round, and we was just taking all the sockets off. And we eventually found the problem, which was the third to last socket in the entire house that we tried. And it was like an outside socket, but it's also got one on the inside, and it was that had knackered up. And living in the outside socket was an absolutely huge, juicy spider. He had made his home in the outside socket full of webs. So once that was disconnected and taken off, the rest of the electrics then all came back on in the house. So we managed to get it fixed. He's going to come round next week and put on a new double socket on the outside and a new socket on the inside to fix the problem. So thank God that's sorted. As you may have noticed, I have different hair. My hairdresser rang. I wasn't supposed to have it done until next month, but she had a cancellation. So then I went, right, let's go. So I had my hair cut and coloured. And then this morning I've had to take Abby back to get her dressing changed. She's got to go back again twice next week. So this is the first time I've been in the studio since last week and I've forgotten I've left it in a mess. Do you know when you walk in and go, oh my God, I've got to tidy the whole thing before I can start working it. So it's actually Friday afternoon, the following week after all what you have just watched has happened. I'm just so behind now. I've got a challenge cake needs to go up tomorrow. It's sat there in cake form, no ganache, no filling, no nothing. I found some chocolate bars. So when I was making those chocolate bars you saw, with the names on, I experimented and put some flavouring into some chocolate bars because I'm going to be hopefully selling some chocolate bars at markets, and I wanted to try going down the flavour route and trying a few different flavours out. Unfortunately for me, I have no idea what Bavarian cream is supposed to taste like, but I bought Bavarian cream because I couldn't get one that was ice cream flavoured, and I just assumed that any cream flavouring might be similar. So I put some Bavarian cream into this chocolate bar and I gave it to the kids and asked them what flavour they thought it was or what did they think of it, and the first thing they both went is, oh, it tastes like medicine. And Bavarian cream in a chocolate bar tastes like Calpol. I don't know, it's got this weird strawberry undertone. It's supposed to have no strawberries in it, but I can taste like a strawberry cream sort of flavour, and they said it tasted like strawberry Calpol. I'm eating it anyway because it's chocolate. But I've got to go. I am so behind. I just wanted to say, let me eat this. Thank you so much for all your comments on the last vlog. There's been a few videos in between me filming that vlog and this vlog, because I'm posting this one pretty late. But in the last vlog, my studio vlog, I did put a plea out and said, if you are a silent lurker watcher, then please do comment. And oh my gosh, you did. I had so many comments. I am still answering them. I've just answered loads more today and still have lots to do. So massive thank you if you did leave a comment. Turns out all I needed to do was just ask. All I needed to do was just ask for a few comments and you delivered. If you haven't watched it yet, I did put a goals video up. I don't know how many videos ago this will be when this goes up. That has been a major flop. Don't have many views on that one. But it's just me chatting about whether I hit goals that I set myself in 2022 and what goals I was setting for 2023. I know it's very much a New Year's resolution type of thing that you would usually watch in January. But if you fancy it and you've got nothing else to do, then please do go watch that video. I have this weird mentality that I've given myself that if videos don't reach 1,000 views, or if they start to slip below 1,000 views, I might not continue with it, because you're making these videos and there's more and more people maybe not watching. People are going to drop off, so you just think, well, what's the point? What's the point in doing it if nobody wants to watch you ramble on at your desk? So there are some videos, obviously the tutorials and the studio vlogs usually get over 1,000, but then you get the odd video such as holiday ones and say like that goal video. If they don't reach 1,000 views, I kind of just go, right, it's slowing down now, nobody's interested. But I suppose you do get a few videos like that. I'm gonna go, I'm waffling. One more thing, I have more gold fans in stock. So in the last vlog, I sold out. So thank you very much if you grabbed one, but I have some more going up and I'm going to post them today. Thank you for bearing with, and I'll see you in the next video.